Yo, Mo, what are you doing for Halloween? You coming to the Halloween party, right? Well, dude, aren't you excited about Halloween? Yeah, let's talk about that. Assalamu alaikum, what's going on everybody? It's everyone's scariest time of the year again. Halloween. It's that time of the year when people dress up as their favorite superheroes, their favorite villains, and occasionally, their favorite race. No wait, that's actually racist. It's known as the time when kids overdose on sugar and become pre-diabetic, all in one night. Adults go broke decorating houses, buying candy, buying costumes for themselves and their kids, and by the end of the night you've taken out a second mortgage on your house and you've sold your soul to the devil. Or you can avoid all that and just turn off all the lights and pretend nobody's home and hopefully avoid getting TP'd. If you don't know what getting TP'd is, you will. Oh right, and we always have this little scare of people putting razor blades in our chocolates for some reason. The pleasures of Halloween. But one must wonder, what is the origin of Halloween? Where did it start? And how did it become what we know today? Well, ladies and gentlemen, have a seat, grab a snack, and let Mo tell you a story. It was over 1,000 years ago. A group of people called the Celtics. These people were pagans and worshipped many, many gods and goddesses. More gods than I can even count. October 31st was the end of the harvest. And at this point, they believed that the divide between the world of the living and the world of the dead was at its thinnest. I don't know why though. They believed the thinning of these barriers between the two worlds would mean that the dead would walk again amongst the living. Which is kind of creepy if you think about it. Therefore, the living would put offerings for the dead. This could take the form of food or even animal and human sacrifice. All of this to appease the dead. Man, those ancients were messed up. It was also believed that the dead would start looking for those people who harmed them amongst the living, and they would take their revenge. And one of the ways to defend yourself is to wear a mask so the dead can't recognize who you are. Anyways, the church didn't like this pagan celebration. They were like, we don't like this pagan celebration. I mean, that's how they sounded in my head. You know, because the Vatican, Italy, right? Obviously, the church didn't like these pagan Celts walking around topless with a six-pack because it made everyone else feel inadequate and insecure. Okay, I totally made that one up. But damn, look at these bodies. Did the ancients have CrossFit? Anyways, more realistically, I'm sure the church didn't like these pagan traditions because they were more or less blasphemous. And therefore, the church decided to counter this pagan tradition by introducing a new celebration. And they called it All Saints' Day or All Hallows' Eve, which later became Halloween. Then many years later, Halloween was brought to the United States of America by Irish immigrants. Trick-or-treat rituals started as kids were going house to house, vandalizing homes if they weren't giving them treats, and these kids would wear masks. So, of course, authorities don't find out who they are, because apparently kids are smart too. All in all, in today's world, Halloween really has very little ties left to its pagan origins. Nowadays, Halloween has become so commercialized. It has become this cultural event where children overdose on chocolate, teenagers and adults get drunk, parents pay a lot of money, and corporations make a fortune. Speaking of fortunes, so the million-dollar question is, can Muslims celebrate Halloween? I don't know. There are multiple opinions on this. There are numerous groups of Muslims, Christians, and Jews who oppose Halloween because of its pagan origins. However, some people say that these pagan aspects and origins have been far removed, and as long as you're celebrating it not as a religious celebration, but from a more cultural and traditional perspective, for example, children wearing superhero costumes and going around eating chocolates and things like that, then it may be more or less acceptable from a religious perspective, as long as your intentions are not to celebrate the pagan origins, because that would be considered blasphemous. Others, on the other hand, say that the fact that it has pagan origins makes it unacceptable to celebrate, period. From a more specifically Islamic perspective, some Islamic scholars have referred to the hadith or saying and teaching by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, where he says, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum." Whomever emulates and imitates a group of people, then he is of them. Therefore, if you're imitating and copying pagan traditions, then that can be very sinful. And even for those Muslims who are of the opinion of enjoying Halloween from that cultural, traditional perspective, there is a difference between children wearing superhero costumes and eating chocolates and people having some small gatherings and get-togethers versus teenagers and adults going to Halloween party where there's rampant nudity and alcoholism and a bunch of other impermissible non-religious things that happen. So I've been told in movies and like Hollywood and stuff. Just saying. By the way, I'm not claiming any moral high ground here. I'm a young man who struggles with these decisions too, you know. I'm not an angel walking around flawlessly making perfect decisions. Yeah, I mean, we're all humans, we all make mistakes. Even I'm gonna have to try pretty hard this year to try to bob and weave my way around some of these party invites. I never said it was easy. And by the way, brothers and sisters, if you, perchance you see me at one of these Halloween parties, just remember, put down your phone, make eye contact, استعذ بالله من الشيطان, استغفر ربك, because you are there too, and make dua for your Muslim brother. And khalas, that's it. Stop looking at me. At the end of the day, I guess you can do whatever you want. You can eat whatever you want. You can celebrate however you want. You're gonna have to make your own decisions. I'm not the government, I can't tell you what to do. I'm just presenting you with both sides of the argument. And you have to make your own decision. And so do I. Man, adulting is hard. Is it better to avoid these things? Yeah, of course, just to be safe. But of course, it also depends on how religious you are, how conservative you are, which opinion you're going to follow. And at the end, we're gonna have to make a decision that's right for us. Anyways, that's it for my part about Halloween. Thank you very much for watching. I really want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think that Halloween still has these pagan traditions and shouldn't be celebrated? Or do you think that these pagan traditions have been so far removed that they really have nothing to do with Halloween nowadays? Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm that Muslim guy. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.